All right, the next section is going to be creating a schedule. We have several options here. Routine, PRN, one time only, titration, or stat. Generally, we're going to be using the routine and PRN until we get to phase 2 of PCC. So for now, most of your orders are going to be routine or PRN. So we're going to choose routine. First option, or first blank, is dose or admin quantity. Well, how much are we going to give? So we're going to say we're going to give 1, come to the next drop-down menu, and tablet. So we're going to give 1 tablet of Lasix. Now, your options here will change based on the type of medication you have entered. If it is a liquid, it'll give you liquid forms here in this drop-down menu. If for some reason you don't see it, you don't see an option, you can always go show all, and it will list all of the options. Per pump, a ring, a scoop, a spray, a suppository, inhalation, an inch. So you have all kinds of options there. I said if it is like nitro paste, you can put 1.5 inches. The next is a frequency. This is kind of a redundant step, but it is what it is. So we got a frequency. How often are we going to be giving this medication? We have 1 time a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at bedtime, and I'll show you how you can tell if it's one we don't use. So let's say we're going to give that Lasix in the evening. See, we have an error. No time codes available. So we can't use that choice of in the evening. We're only going to give 1 tablet once a day. So we need to go up here and choose 1 time a day. Once we choose 1 time a day, we can go to the schedule type. Do we want to give it every day? That means that it will show up on the MAR or TAR every single day, 365 days a year. Or do we want to choose every X days? That means if we want to give it every 3 days, we want to give it every 7 days, you'll just come over here and you'll just put in every 7, every 3 days, whatever. Next option is we have specific days of the week. You just choose what days of the week you want to give it. Our next option is days on, days off. Let's say we have a medication that they're on it for 4 days and then they're off for 3 days. Or they're on it for 4 days and off for 4 days. So it's going to rotate on the MAR where it's available and not available. When it's not available, it will have an X on it, on the MAR or the TAR. Do you just want to give it on odd days? Those are days that with odd numbers. Even days. Days with even numbers. 2s, 4, 6, 8, 10. Do you want to give it on a specific day of the month? You come over here and you'll choose what day of the month you want to give it on. You'll notice that there is no 29, no 30, no 31. That's because of February only has 28 days, except every 4 years. So you need to choose 1 through 28, or you can choose the last day of the month, and the MAR will put it on the last day of the month. And then you have to put an end date. So if we're just giving like a B12 once a month on the 15th, then the start day would be the 15th, and the end day would be the 15th. Okay? Every other day, simple enough. And every X month. That means every 3 months, we're going to start on the 18th, and we're only going to do it on the 18th. So every 3 months, on the 18th, for just one day, they're going to get this order or get this medication. Now we have a facility time code. We've chose one time a day in the frequency, and these are our options for this facility. 6 a.m. Is it a Coumadin where we need to give it at 5 p.m.? Or do we have a 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in PRN? That's usually used for treatments, so we don't corner ourselves into a certain time frame for a treatment. So we can say, when I say treatment, I mean wound treatment. So we have from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to do it if it's an everyday thing. We have 6:30 in the morning, and we have Q day. Q day is going to be specific to your facility. Whatever you sent me in the time, with the time codes, that's what your Q day is going to be. Now, if you'll notice down here, this is what the time's going to be. 0800, that's the Q day. If for some reason that's not the time you want, you just go down here and you change to the time you want to give it. It needs to be military time, though. Admin notes, you can just, don't worry about admin notes right now. That is going to be for when we go to EMAR. Supplementary documentation. If you need to add additional documentation, you can say add. A new screen pops up. What do we need to check? Well, we need the residents' respirations, we need their blood pressure, we need their blood sugar, we need their oxygen level, we need their temp, we need their weight. You can choose one or all. Or you can add a custom. What site? And in the long description, you can again put site. How many units did we give of insulin? Units. Add it. We can update it, and all that will now be added to onto the MAR. Okay. Let's say we have a PRN medication or a PRN order. We'll just click PRN. The dose or quantity. Say it's acetaminophen, Tylenol. We want to give one tablet PRN every 4 hours. Or you can even put one PRN every, if it's like once a day, you can say every 24 hours. If it's a treatment, like a wound treatment or anything like that, that doesn't need a specific time frame, you can choose just PRN, but it will tell you, it'll warn you, all PRN medications orders should indicate the frequency at which the medication should be entered. So if you enter a medication, you just can't go with PRN. You have to use PRN and then give a frequency. Since we're not using EMAR right now, we're not going to do the one time only or the titration or the stat. Once we get to EMAR, we will concentrate on those three options. And that concludes scheduling.